Sacred Heart. Innocence, sweetness, gentleness, kindness, forgiveness, as you accept the Sacred Heart within, the kindness pours, the gentleness pours into the universe, the sweetness radiates and touches everyone and everything. The Sacred Heart, the purity of love is what you've been searching for. And this Sacred Heart is within and everything that exists. The willingness to embrace the Sacred Heart that is within, to accept and to let it out of its prison that has been self-imposed. The willingness to lay down all defenses, all perception of the need to protect. This is the journey of love. To embrace the divine harmony of being. In every moment, this is the journey. In every moment, it is the choice of the journey of love. The willingness to choose love and to rest in the power of that choice. To trust that the power of love will not betray you. That the belief in betrayal has been a false identity that has made a world of battle. And now is the time for love to shine. To accept that peace and joy and harmony abide in you. To accept this truth. To no longer doubt the beauty and perfection that you truly are, and that is all of creation. To accept heaven here in this moment by merely surrendering all that you thought you knew. And opening and walking with the beloved beings of love that do walk with you and that you may not yet have recognized as your companions of love, because your focus was in protection and defense. Love calls to you to open the heart and embrace the beloved companions of love that have been called to lead you home. Every beloved companion, seen and unseen, is to serve you as you serve love and remember love. In this moment of this day, finding the willingness of the heart to surrender the concepts of the past that may have infiltrated the day. But now, in this moment of acceptance and affirming love itself, the willingness to forgive and surrender all that might have been made up today. Beginning again in this moment, in the truth of love. The willingness of this moment to surrender the future into the hands of God, trusting its unfolding because it is in the hands of God, because you have placed it there, and because God is the power of the universe, and it is where you belong, in the hands of God. Accepting every moment as the opportunity to remember love. Consciously choosing to remember love. And in this moment, breathing deeply and fully. And as you breathe in deeply, the willingness to breathe in the light of love. And as you breathe out, consciously letting go of all energies of struggle or difficulty, or even caution. The willingness for the breath to be the cleansing agent of love. The willingness to embrace the breath as the rhythm of love itself. Finding the pulse of the divine breath and the willingness to recognize that this pulse is the pulse of the universe, that the universe itself is breathing in and out in the vibration of love, pulsating truth of love. Accepting in this moment as you breathe that you are not an island, that you are not separate, and that you willingly join in this divine pulse, this divine vibration of love. And surrender the rhythms and the pulsations that have been made out of fear, out of hesitancy, out of caution, out of self-preservation. Surrendering them all. and opening to the pulse of love. Breathing. Breathing deeply into the heart. Consciously opening the heart, the sacred heart in this moment. And bringing the heart forward, open, available, and undefended. Consciously affirming cleansing breath into all the energy bodies. Bringing the cleansing breath of love through the emotional body, surrendering the vibrations of the past, surrendering the hesitancy of the past, the caution of the past, the defense of the past. And opening the emotional body into the vibration of love through the sacred breath, consciousness. Breathing in the light of love through the emotional body, no longer willing to have the emotional body run by the suspicions of the mind, but willing for the emotional body to be filled with the light of love. The willingness to express compassion, gentleness, kindness, forgiveness. The willingness to express joy and peace and harmony. And to put faith and trust in the divine Christ light in every beloved. The willingness to be freed of the past and allow the future its freedom. And breathing. Breathing into this moment of vowing the willingness of the heart to love, to accept love, to remember love. Breathing and affirming that here in the infinite circle of love we are one. And this infinite circle of love has always been and will always be. This infinite circle of love where all divine truth lives. The willingness to enter the union of love and rest with joy, to rest in ease, to rest in God, and affirming this sanctuary is filled with love. Love is all that exists. Affirming this universe is all love. Nothing else exists. Surrendering the temporary identities and the belief in the temporary into the hands of God, and accepting the eternal, the infinite, the truth of all life. And breathing and affirming there is only one presence here. It is the life force of God And within this life force, we live and move and breathe as one. The acceptance of a new life. The acceptance that only love is real. Allow this prayer to vibrate and open your awareness, your willingness, your acceptance of the divine beings of love that serve humanity's remembering. I am Mary of conception. I am seeking to open your heart, offering my love and guidance as your suffering world comes apart. Bring your pain like a flower to open. Bring your sorrow to place at my feet. Tears that are watering my garden in the river of Jordan will meet. Oh, my children, I seek your surrender. Both the path and the message are clear. My Saint John is walking beside you, holding your hand through this fear. Keep your strength as you seek to be humble. Let the power that guides you reveal all the blessings of my holy rapture, confirming you know what is real. I seek your surrender. I call your surrender. I invite your surrender. The way of love. The way of deep and abiding transformation. The willingness to be unhinged. The willingness to be unraveled. The willingness to accept that the beloved beings of light are holding your hand as you shake off the ignorance of fear, as you shake off the belief that there is an enemy. Love is holding your hand, walking you through the journey of remembering. The willingness to accept that help and to walk with love, to walk with strength, to walk in strength as you seek to be humble and recognize everything that I thought I knew was not the truth. I open to the truth. I open to the way of love. I raise my awareness into the light of God, and I focus all my attention. I focus my attention on the sun and the moon and the stars, on the divine forest, the earth and the sea. I will find the truth of God in the divine truth of nature, going beyond what I think I know, and opening to the beauty of the Masters, affirming love in every moment, accepting the harmony and peace of divine union with everything and everyone. I accept the eternal love of God that is so pure. I accept it into my heart, and as I accept it into my heart, it takes me to the heights of love itself and purifies me of the past. I say yes to the love, the eternal love of God, and I want to join this love that shines its light in the shady forests. It's a marvelous light that is always shining here, waiting to be seen, waiting to be recognized as the illusion is let go. Vou ligar o meu pensamento só onde eu devo ligar. No sol, na lua, nas estrelas, na floresta, na terra, no mar. Esta estrada que estou andando, eu a mesmo mestre andou. É a estrada de Jesus Cristo, onde nós afirmamos o amor. O amor eterno tá puro, que nem todos podem falar. É quem leva nas alturas para nos purificar. O amor eterno de Deus vive nas matas sombrias. E uma luz maravilhosa que ilumina todo dia. All day long, divine teachings are wanting to take you deeper and deeper and deeper into the truth of love. All day long, divine teachings that have been offered to you, shown to you, presented to you, are calling you to be remembered in the heart and the mind, and to let the vibration of love take you deeper and deeper, even as you walk in this world, looking and doing what seems to be ordinary. Love can take you. Love can transform in every moment. The willingness to open the heart and give the heart, surrender the heart, and surrender the mind into the hands of God, and open to that divine communion that is surrounding you, and in you, your complete, beautiful, holy relationship, until you melt into the oneness of all life. The willingness to accept the light of God. Not knowing exactly what is going on. You are newly hatched. So when someone comes by to feed you with some friendship, or even something well cooked, your beak on occasion sticks them in the neck, not knowing exactly what is going on. Even when the beloved lands on your limb with a fresh worm of guidance or wisdom, your clumsiness can persist and he too gets poked. That is why I thought I might keep a safe distance, maybe that of a few hundred years. until you settle down and get things properly worked out. Thank God you don't need a few hundred years to work things out, to raise the white flag, and to accept, I don't know. I don't know how to walk in a world that isn't filled with fear from the past. I don't know how to embrace the truth of God when the mind screams, I want it thus. The healing of the heart is calling every beloved. And one of the first callings of every beloved in the journey of love is to no longer trust reactions. Now this may seem completely foreign, completely upside down. Every minute of the day in the belief of separation, in the asleep state, everything is reaction. Believing that there is a world outside that is the cause, and unconsciously accepting that you are in the reaction of it, that you are on guard duty all day. Of course, this is extremely tiring, exhausting, dispiriting, and reinforces even more reaction. So to trust in the teachings of love is to begin to lay down the swords of reaction. You may think reaction happens on its own. It even feels that way. Something seems to happen out there, and there is an impulse, call it a knee-jerk reaction, to respond, to all in one fell swoop, protect, defend, figure out, retreat, attack. But none of this is actually happening in and of itself. You have a program. The belief in pain and suffering, and the belief in danger, is a program that you have accepted. You have accepted it because you have believed that it was true. You have believed that you were at the mercy of a cruel world, and that you were a body and could die in any moment, be terribly hurt. You believe that you could trust your feelings about all this and trust your mind. And all of that made your life of the past. And then the spark of love touches your heart, and you begin awakening to the awareness that there is a calling to another life. And the journey of your life shifts in a way that you never imagined. And then as you walk this journey that you begin to recognize as the journey of love, the journey of eternal love, all the old habits of the past, all the fear, all the self-hatred, all the caution, all the programming, all the reactions become even stronger. In direct conflict with this journey of love. The fear of death seems even stronger because you trusted your programming. You trusted your defense system. You put all of your knowing into your defense system. And you trusted your reactions. You had to trust your reactions, and you had to justify your reactions. You had to justify your reactions by being right. Because if your reactions were not justified, then how could you be safe again? So everything of the program was built on justification. And that justification comes from what you think you see and feel. And then love says, beloved, there's another way. The way where you can choose, and that you must choose. That you must choose to question the validity of the justification and the reactions and the fear that have been running. Not to question with your mind, but to question with your heart of what it is that you've truly been called to, that you have been called and been given what seems to be completely out of alignment with your past, completely, outrageously not connected to anything that you've actually known or thought you knew. To accept that you are the light of the world, to accept that you are the infinite, eternal Spirit of God. And that the world that you have made was a nightmare, so convincing that you bought it, hook, line, and sinker. And in the journey of freedom, you can't see the freedom. You can't see the freedom until you accept the freedom. And this is what keeps pulling you back to what you know. The distrust of something that seems separate to you and yet is the truth of who you are. And to surrender the program that's been running, the program of reaction, the program of justification, the program of fear. To truly be willing to surrender this into the light of God. The willingness to disown this false identity, this false reaction, and to actually begin to recognize that you have the power of choice to choose love, to choose harmony and peace, and to choose to see the light of all creation in everything and in everyone. To surrender the habits that you have held voraciously, ferociously, all mixed up between pride and victimhood. You have believed yourself to be a victim of the world within and the world that you see outside. And at the same time believing that you were conquering something when there was nothing to conquer. And the acceptance that you were never a victim, except in your mind. How could the light of God be a victim? How could the light of God need a defense? But the leap of faith that is called for in every moment calls for help, for strength, the strength to trust, the strength to accept that only love is real, and that these reactions and justifications of the past have no truth. To accept with your whole heart And when you want only love, you will see nothing else. This is such a powerful promise, awareness, because it speaks completely to the choice that you have. And that this is the only freedom you have in this world of illusion until you let go of the belief of the illusion. This is the only freedom that you have, is choice. To choose. And to accept that when you want only love, you will see nothing else, you will feel nothing else, you will experience nothing else. So, how powerful are you when you want only love? Now, this divine teaching can be used the other direction, because what it can offer to you is the recognition in your everyday life that when you see something else, you can acknowledge to yourself that I must not really want love. I don't really want love in this moment, or else I would see only love. Not as a condemnation, but as an awareness of how deep that choice is. And that when you think that you have gone as deeply as you can into surrender, to surrender even deeper and find the wanting of love as deeply, deeply as possible, to bring every element of your being to that wanting. To no longer give any allegiance to the programming of the past. When you want only love, you will see nothing else. You will feel nothing else. You will experience nothing else. The mind would say, how is this possible? It's the power of your choice. The power of your choice can transform everything. You are the miracle worker. You hold within your capacity of truth, of reality, the power to transform through the truth of God, through the willingness and the wanting to see only love. How powerful is this choice? It has the power to transform. It has the power to eliminate the illusions of separation. To accept that the reactions that you've held in the past, the beliefs that you've held in the past, the programming that you've believed in, absolutely mean nothing and are nothing. Again, this can't be understood. It can't be understood that something that you put so much faith into, that you gave your allegiance to, was never real. And yet, I promise you, it was never real. It has no meaning. It has no reality. And the funniest element of this, just like the bird that's newly hatched, when someone comes by to feed you with some friendship or even something well cooked, your beak on occasion sticks them in the neck, not knowing exactly what is going on. Reaction. And the belief of the past that is so strong that it affects your everyday perceptions. That to accept that it was based on an illusion of identity. That it was based on a delusion of separation. That all the while, light and joy and peace abide in you. So there's a question that is asked of every beloved in the healing of the illusion. Why would you not be overjoyed to recognize that nothing that you thought you were was ever true? Why would you not be overjoyed to accept that light and joy and peace abide in you? This is the upside downness of the newly hatched, whose beaks still go out and stick somebody in the neck. Afraid, based on old nightmares. Afraid based on identities that have no truth. Afraid of death. Afraid of losing. And all the while, love is asking, why would you not be overjoyed to open to the truth that light and joy and peace abide in you? The fear of joy is a strong potent fear of joy. The fear of joy says, I must stay cautious. If I let my heart open too quickly, too fast, I'll lose control. And I won't have my defenses in place. And all this that's running unconsciously for the most part. Lies in that resistance of not wanting to see only love. When it's waiting to be seen. Waiting to be experienced, waiting to be recognized. The power of decision is your one remaining freedom in the illusion of separation. the power of choice, to accept. Peace and joy and light abide in me. And therefore, it must abide in all. If it is rejected within, it is rejected without. If it is rejected without, it is rejected within. But to accept and the willingness to be overjoyed is essential to the reactions of the newly hatched, to break the trance of the reactions of the past, and to truly accept the grace, the harmony, the blessings of love. In every moment, the one moment, the blessings and the grace of light and love are pouring, are offering, are blessing. What is in the way of that blessing? It's the noise. It's the noise of the fear. It's the noise of strategies. It's the noise of caution. But all the while, love keeps radiating. The light, the grace, the blessings. The newly hatched will eventually stop poking, but eventually can be now. The eventually is where the ego would like you to keep it. Eventually. Later. Why not now? Why not accept now the blessings, the comfort, the light that comes from consciously choosing to no longer defend your heart, to truly no longer let the programming that's in the mind have its way any longer. You have the divine choice, your one freedom in the world of illusion, to choose love or to choose reaction, caution. Reaction has to be born of something. Reaction doesn't happen on its own. Reaction is part of the program. And the program is, I'm a victim of this world, and I must defend and protect. And all the while, love is calling to you to let it go. Truly let it go. When the beloved lands on your limb with a fresh worm of guidance or wisdom, you can persist and he too can get poked. Except when the beloved lands on your limb and gets poked, there's no reaction. There's no cause or effect. The beloved sees only love. Only the agreement of being newly hatched dance in reaction with one another, keeping the game going of pain and suffering. And each beloved is being called to no longer agree. Whoever is sanest in the moment is called to remember love. The recognition of sanity in a moment is the blessings and comforts of the light, that there is enough willingness within you to recognize and to accept a glimmer of sanity, to be the one that affirms and offers love, that refuses anymore to accept the evidence of wrongdoing, the evidence of being condemned, the evidence of enemies, the evidence of danger. Whoever is sanest in the moment is called to remember love. When everything in you wants to react, the call for love is still there. And every moment that you take that leap of faith, the leap of faith to answer the call for love, transforms your journey in leaps and bounds. Leaps and bounds because you've broken through the trance. You've broken through the programming. You've broken through the agreements. And you have answered the call for love. By no longer seeing an enemy, by no longer believing that there's danger, by no longer believing that you have to be at the effect of what you think you see or what you think you think. It's a spell. It's a spell trance of an entire program, a whole system of agreement, of identity, And to accept that it has no truth is the leap of faith. And it is a deeply humble place to accept that what you think you know in that moment, what you think you see, what you think is true, cannot be true. Cannot be true. To accept the teachings of love and to bring them into manifestation in your life is the power of transformation that will heal so deeply that you won't even be able to fathom it. So powerful is your choice in a moment. And the moment can be just as whimsical as you are newly hatched, so when someone comes to feed you with some friendship or even something well cooked, your beak on occasion sticks them in the neck. Someone says a word to you, and you take that word, the ego takes that word and twists it into evidence of a battle, takes it into the evidence of danger, takes it into the evidence of the need for reaction, because in that nanosecond you have identified an enemy. Except that for all these lifetimes you have not recognized this as the identification of an enemy. You have thought this was business as usual. You thought this was how life worked. Protect, defend, justify. And now love is calling you because you have heard the call. You have answered the call to love. And now love is taking you step by step into a new life, a new awareness of your true divine beingness, the light that you are, the light that is everyone. Your willingness to accept that all of these beliefs are coming from your mind, filtered through the body system as a communication, so that every reaction seems normal because it's so familiar that it's the true call of humility that is calling every beloved into the not knowing. The willingness to doubt what you have known is a place of humility. To doubt the validity of reactions or thoughts is the calling of love, to make that choice. To accept that there are no neutral thoughts. There is nothing ever neutral going on, because all thoughts have power. All beliefs have power. There is no neutral. And all the thoughts that you have have the power, and they will either make a false world or lead you to the reality of love by choice of what thought you are willing to hold, what you are willing to accept. But first, to break through the trance is to stop and question that what you experience is what you feel, what you think you know, what reactions you have that have been so familiar are no longer readily acceptable. And the stronger and deeper you go into the journey of love, the stronger the calling to align with the truth, to make those choices of love. The other is extremely tempting because the known has a seduction. The known is familiar. The known is a program that gives you the belief that you don't have anything to choose. Except when you choose, and you are still choosing, even though it's a program, you're choosing the program. You're choosing the past. You're choosing the known, the righteousness of the past. And when you choose that, and you keep choosing it, then you find yourself back into a place of deep pain. And that deep pain says, this is where you truly live. But these are the lies. This is where you used to live. This is what you used to be the servant of. Your knowing, your habits, your reactions. Don't be afraid of tasting the peace and joy and harmony of an open heart. Don't be afraid of resting in peace. Don't be afraid of accepting the abundance, the ease, the harmony that is always blessing you and wanting to comfort you and always wanting to lead you into the truth of love. If you accepted, really truly accepted that when you want only love, you will see nothing else, it can take you deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into love in the everyday. Because you have the infinite choice. What you want is the power of the universe. The power of the universe is unleashed in what you want. You made an entire world of reaction, of pain and suffering, and the belief of death. You made an entire world through that power, the power of what you wanted. To realize that you made a world out of the belief of, I want to be separate. And now you're being called to surrender that wanting and open to what you truly want, which is to remember the truth of who you are. When you want only to remember and you want only love, you will see nothing else. That is the power of your choosing. And to accept that there are no neutral thoughts. That in every moment, unless you are in stillness, a quiet mind and an open heart, there are thoughts that are going on. And you are either affirming love or you are affirming separation with what you're thinking. There is a beautiful teaching of Jesus that says, be aware of the power of your thoughts. Be aware and respectful of the power of your thoughts. Just because those thoughts of separation are delusional and don't really exist, when you hold them as valid, they are true for you, and you make them your existence. You have that much power in your mind, in your thoughts. When you use that power and you affirm that you want only love, you will see only love. That is the power of your choice. And it is the power of your opening to miracles through the power of your choice. The power to see only love. The power to refuse to see or accept any longer the thoughts of the past. One thought. You wake up in the morning, what is your first thought? This is going to be a hard day. I have a lot to do. This is another day to battle. Another day to worry. Another day to try to control. The moment you awaken is the choice. To affirm and declare, I'm here to remember love today. I am here today and I affirm I want only love. These are not gimmicks. These are not nice ideas of affirmations. This is the power of your choice to affirm your allegiance, to affirm what you want, to accept that there are no neutral thoughts and that your intention is to want to see only love today. To want to see in every moment, in every beloved, in every situation, that you want to see the light of God in everyone and in everything. This is the power of your choice. There is no neutral getting up and saying, what am I going to have for breakfast? Those old habits, those old beliefs in this doesn't mean anything. It's calling for your heart to serve your awakening. It's calling for your choice to serve your journey by joining in what you truly want. To have this development of loving kindness within yourself. To bring loving kindness to yourself with thoughts of love. To bring loving kindness, sweet charity, blessings to the day by your choice. And to affirm that you have this choice. That you are not a victim of the world that is going to unfold that day. That you are not stepping into the world in the intention of being in reaction, waiting for something to react to, instead of what you think you see and then recognizing, if I don't see love, I'm making something up. I'm no longer willing to poke my beak at the world and believe that I need to suffer and be defended. I'm joining with the truth of God. I am accepting that God's will for me is peace and joy. And I align myself with that choice. And I bring my attention to every moment of the day of what am I choosing? What do I want? And being so happy that I have the choice to make. Being so happy that I have recognized that I have a choice. And that I am being called to use that choice to join in the power of love. Every loving thought is true. But every loving thought doesn't just appear out of nowhere. It's a choice. It's a choice, it's a direction, it's an affiliation, it's an alignment. And every loving thought is true. Everything else is an appeal for healing and for help. But you even must realize that if you're not in the awareness of a loving thought, then at least be in the awareness that you are asking for help because you have lost your way in some thought that has no love in it, and that you want to come back and return to love, that it's all that you want, and to truly accept that calling that you felt so powerfully on the journey that you thought you were on, and when you were called to remember love, that you gave yourself to that journey of love, that you said, yes, this is finally, I finally have realized why I'm here. I'm here to remember love. I'm here to return home. I've wandered for lifetimes, and I'm no longer willing to wander. I must love. I must remember love. And I must choose, because it's what I'm here to do. I'm here to choose. In the everyday, all day, what seems to be the ordinary journey, I must choose love. I must choose truth, that only love exists. I must choose that every beloved is the light of God. I must choose, because it's what I'm here to do. I've awakened enough to remember that I came here to choose. So I must choose. I must choose that I want truly to love. And then it will be, because I choose it truly. I must affirm the power of my mind and give it to God, and no longer be willing to keep thoughts and beliefs and reactions and caution. I must be willing to surrender everything into the hands of God and choose love. Harmony, peace, joy, all love. I must choose. And in that choice is all transformation possible, because love can then answer, because love can meet you there, because you've said yes through your choice, through your willingness. Love can enter and serve you, join you. And then you will find all the strength. You will find all the power with you, because the power of your yes can transform the universe. That is the power of God that is in your yes, that joins the divine vibration of love itself through your yes. I must love. You must love because you are love. You must love because it's all that exists, and you are that love. And you will accept your welcome home.